Hello, Jen Gilchrist here, your soul alignment and success mentor. And today I'm here with episode 5 of my Soulful Snippet series. And today we're going to be talking about what to do when shiz is hitting the fan, right? This is, if you're really listening to this in present time, like as this is happening, we have a full moon eclipse today, one of the longest eclipses I believe I heard of, like 120 years, right? So this is a powerful full moon, and Mercury's gone retrograde yesterday, and I think there's many, like 5 planets altogether in retrograde. So there's a lot of inner reflective time happening right now, a lot of time for change, a lot of call for us to really become aware of things that maybe we've been working on or even totally unconscious to, that we are being called as an opportunity to move through, right? And it can feel a bit intense. And so today, whether this is, something that's a replay or on the call live, you can say hello. So all of this is going to be really valuable, even if you hear this after the fact, but I feel like it's especially relevant with what the energy is today. And so the first thing I want to suggest, we're going through these times of change to really help empower you to navigate this eclipse season and the retrograde and the full moon, is having the awareness, right? So part of why I'm doing this is having the awareness of the energy of what's going on, right? And seeing it really as an opportunity to shift and transform yourself, which is going to create higher alignment and everything else. Hey, Jamie. And so you really want to see this, like if emotions are high, it's an emotional moon time, right? So it makes perfect sense that you'd be feeling all the feels, and I encourage you to do so. So it's about recognizing that this is an opportunity for healing, for change, and for growth. And so to have compassion for yourself and for others, right? I think that the cool thing about having an idea of what's happening, cosmically, for everybody on different ways and different levels and to different degrees, is this call for change and inner reflection and inner healing of our world and our emotions, right? When we're aware of that, we don't have to react quite so intensely, right? When a lot of people around you may be totally unconscious to this and just reacting from their emotions and having a bad day and, cussing you out on the road or whatever it is, right? Different things might be coming up in terms of people just reacting. And I think that just having the awareness that this is what's going on for all of us right now, first of all, you don't feel like wrong for being so emotional. And then you also don't have to see other people as being wrong, right? And so just having that awareness allows us to have our power and to not match the energy of just react, fight, squibble and squabble, which might be happening, especially since Mercury's in retrograde. Sometimes that'll bring up, the deeper communications issues with people, right? So there's just so much going on that I think just knowing that and having compassion for yourself and compassion for others is a huge, is one key that I'm going to share that will help you. Hey, Lisa, thanks for joining. And that doesn't mean not having boundaries, because that might be part of your lesson. If somebody's treating you in a certain way that maybe you've allowed that to be in a relationship for a period of time, and you've been maybe a little bit of a doormat to it, this is just an example, then it's not to say that we accept that responsibility, accept that behavior. In fact, you might be being called to be in your power with taking a stand for yourself, but we can still do it in a loving, compassionate way and not in a snippy, let's throw energy and mean words at each other, right? And so it's just having that awareness, having compassion with yourself and others for this rather intense time for many people, and learning to not react to the energy, right? This is where when you have that awareness, you have permission to not react. So the next step or tool I'd give you is just to pause, take that second to just pause, and whatever is going on around you, right? Seeing this as accepting what is. So I think when things are going crazy, or endings of relationships or job changes or environmental changes or whatever big changes are coming up, or maybe emotional, maybe it's time for you to release a habit or a pattern that you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of this, and I've been trying, and I thought I've been working on this and it's still here. Instead of being in that resistance, it's about tuning in and just pausing for a moment, accepting what is going on around you, right? What is the chaos? What is the turmoil? And then surrendering to that in that moment. That's the first step, to be able to really stop, accept, pause, surrender, and then you can start to pivot and say, okay, so what is the deeper meaning here? What is it that I'm being called towards? Where is the gem that I'm here to transform in order to create more space and alignment in my life? right? What am I being called to? What is my part within this? I can't control everybody else's reaction or things that might be going on, but I can control how I choose to perceive it and what I choose to do with that information. And so this is really just an awesome time of transformation and deeper reflection and healing. So make sure you take that space that, retrograde calls us to go inward, to release, to realign, to evaluate. It's important for us to have that quiet time to listen to the voice of our soul, to listen to the answers of your prayers, to really do that soul searching time. And I would suggest if turmoil is arising, then that is the opportunity that your soul is like, okay, I want change here. I deserve change here. And maybe in the past you weren't ready to address it or know quite how to move through it. But within this opportunity, if you set your intentions and you really ask for that clarity, through the pause and through the acceptance and surrendering to that, you will have a big breakthrough, right? And it won't have to be so painful. It's the resistance when we're shoving down that we don't want to feel or accept, what is going on, that we cause even more pain and suffering, and then we don't get to have the added benefit. We have to learn it again in a different way, in a different time, through a different relationship or whatever, right? And so this is just a massive opportunity for healing, for growth, for transformation that will bring about more space for alignment and fulfillment and prosperity, or whatever it is, whatever life focus area you're working on. And for a lot of people, it might actually be a whole rebirthing process, which means this is kind of the ending or the death cycle or the destruction of the things that are not really working for that next vision. And then boom, on the other side of this, we get to have so much more expansive growth, awareness, understanding, deservingness, havingness, whatever it is that is kind of your thing that's showing up for you. And so you can just really set your intention and ask, right? You can just set your intention and really ask for that higher awareness and for the clarity about what it is for you. So if you don't know in this moment, you're like, I don't know why this is happening to me. You're like, what's going on? But I'm going to be willing, and I know that there is something there for me. And so therefore I'm going to set the intention that I am going to get the answers that I need. Right. And then a lot of those answers are going to come through meditation and journaling and otherwise. Let me know if this is how this is resonating for you guys, or, how it is. For me, it's interesting. I've been feeling the emotional buildup this whole last couple of weeks or whatever. And then yesterday and today felt a little bit more melancholy. Like I'm actually, the releasing of the tension is happening. But for many people, it might be just the beginning of the emotional stuff. So, and I'm not saying that it's over, because we have a few weeks of this retrograde and yet another eclipse on the other side of in a couple of weeks. And so this is just kind of be an ongoing thing. And if you start to, I feel like those are tools that if you use to navigate through this process, you'll come out on the other side with much more awareness and openness and ability to have that inspiration and the downloads and the ideas about what it is to create next, and being able to be an energetic match for it, and being able to know what next steps to take, and kind of releasing the baggage. That's what this opportunity is for. And so for those of you that are in my Soul Inspired Leaders Collective group, at 1:00, I'm going to do a healing, a clearing on for the full moon. So you're welcome to join us over there at 1 Pacific time. It's about an hour. And for those of you who might be needing some more support during this time, or you realize that you want to make the most of this opportunity, if you haven't heard, I have been sharing about my really easy yes investment for everybody during this time as a support called Rock Your Ascension, right? It's all about intuition activation, rock your ascension, and elevate your success. And so it's a deep healing program where each week, like this week, module 1 starting on Monday, and it's all about the first chakra, the money story, the physical, everything about the first chakra. We're doing healing work each week. So each week we're going to be focusing on a chakra and all of its abilities, and healing and deprogramming and activating that for you, as well as very tangible tools to help you access your intuition, your spiritual psychic abilities that are there as well, like your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, your empathic abilities, so that you can heal yourself and navigate your life from this space. There's a couple of spaces left that have bonuses to be able to have a one-on-one private aura reading and clearing with me available still. And so I would highly suggest checking it out. Literally the program base itself, and there's still a couple spots left to get the bonus aura reading, is $297 this time around. And I think 2 payments of $197 is the other opportunity, or you can have me with my eyes on your energy for the next 6 weeks with 30-minute aura readings each week for $797, or I can't remember what the 2 payment plan was on that. But both of those are almost half of what I would normally charge for something like this, what I've charged in the past and what I would likely charge in the future. But I felt really like this is a tumultuous time for people. It's a huge opportunity for rebirthing oneself. And so I know that cultivating my intuition has been one of my biggest gifts, and it's something I always support my clients with, as well as the deeper energetic healing work and learning to work with your spiritual support team and your angels, and using that as a tool to navigate your life from, but also to heal yourself with. And in that space, of course, the more aware you get with your intuition, the more bigger space you can hold for your clients if you're also a coach or a healer. So, but it can also be just applied to yourself and your family as well. So we're going through a spiritual awakening, guys, and I'm here to support you. Let me know if you want any information about that. I'd be happy to share that somewhere in one of the comments or links here, or reach out to me to see if it's right for you. And for those of you that are here on the line, join me over in the Soul Inspired Leaders Collective Facebook group for our clearing and activation for this full moon eclipse. I'm really excited to support you guys all for in that as well. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye.